You have a bit of a wrench here. So, with that win, Starhorn Royal Club set themselves up to face Samsung White in the World Championship Finals next week. As an interesting note here, Samsung White holds the record for a win with the largest gold difference at 25,000 gold at 28 minutes. Royal Club holds the record for a win with the largest gold deficit, being 9,000 gold down. Now, if that isn't a David and Goliath matchup, Monte Cristo, I don't know what is. Just before we give Doublelift a moment to shine, this is a team that also has the third highest gold lead. The game they just won, 23,500 gold lead, is the third highest at Worlds. The only person that predicted this victory correct was Doublelift, and 50% of the fans at home. Doublelift, care to gloat?
Yeah. To all the naysayers, and to Crepo, Monty, and Freak, you guys are all trash.
To be fair, I did predict the fans to win.
Hey, I mean, this is just the worst thing ever, because this is only fuel for Doublelift's delusions that a team centered around an AD carry can actually make the world final.
I'm not listening.
Which is true, by the way.
I'm not listening.
Hey,
it worked.
AD carry,
what up, baby?
And I have to say, I made a terrible, terrible error. I actually disobeyed my own rule by betting against Korean players, and I feel so damn stupid for doing it now.
Man, you did it in the quarterfinals.
I know.
You did it in the semifinals. I thought you would learn your lesson.
What the hell is wrong with me? But at least we have the most Korean players in the finals that we've ever had at Worlds. So
you should feel bad because you were wrong. Just to give you guys a note, we will be talking about this in a moment. The World Final teams are actually going to flip a coin to determine who will get to choose starting sides in the World Championship. We are looking live at the Summoners Cup, and of course we're going to be using the 500 Korean won coin just for interest's sake. Winner will be picking sides 1, 3, and 5. Those are the game numbers. Loser will be picking sides for games 2 and 4. We've got Dandy from Samsung White and Uzi from Starhorn Royal Club, as well as Aborson flipping the coin. Let's see what the result is. We'll hear that answer in a moment or two. It looks like Uzi has won, I believe. We'll get that confirmed in a second. Teams will have until 11:59 a.m. on Thursday, October 16th, to submit their picks to us in terms of which side choice they want. Last year, Royal Club opted to go red side against SK Telecom T1K. It backfired tremendously. Well, Starhorn did win it, so they will be picking 1, 3, and 5. They lost 3-0, and Malphite was terrible. Nobody can argue that.
Hey, Malphite's won some games. I believe in the rock solid.
Let's get back to this game. I've been waffling for long enough. Let's talk about this matchup. Freak, you were talking about Cool. I think he choked in Game 5. His shockwaves were not on point, and the rest of the team was performing quite well.
It was really unfortunate. Yeah, Cool's the guy I was going to look at. He had a really bad series. Couple of sombreros. There was actually one team fight in the top lane where he just didn't cast the spell. There were 3 guys on the ball.
Can't miss it.
There was multiple times when he died without ulting.
You miss 100% of the shots you don't take, so I feel like he
missed 100% of the ones he did take that series.
Oh.
That's a little hard.
It didn't work out. Right, let's quickly pull up a replay. Doublelift and Crepo, talk me through this replay. It kind of was the tipping point that gave Uzi the items he needed to win, and it summarizes the game quite well.
Yeah, I think this exemplifies the way just China teams meet up against you. We can roll the clip already. It is just a lot of aggression, really early.
It's chaos. It's just pure chaos.
Slightly controlled chaos. There's certain beauty. Zero plays well though. That hook lands on Sand. They burst him immediately. TP comes in, so they disengage. And then somehow, magically, the rest of the team comes down and Mayhem ensues.
Communication error right here. Insect kind of walks into 2 people without knowing that they're there. That should have been communicated by... what's his face? Enemy mid. Close mid.
Corn.
Haha.
There you go, I got you.
However, look at the turn. Zero again gets his teammates out with Lantern, then procs the hook, goes in again, and goes for the counter. And the sombrero.
Oh, that
Rumble actually levels up to 6, but
yeah, also, the ult wasn't very good, even though he did hit 6 in the middle of that fight.
I mean, it's also a TP you don't take. As soon as that person dies, you have, at best, a 4v5, basically. Like, there's no reason to take that battle. Like, just go push something out. Like, it's one thing I've noticed with Chinese LoL is they react to something by doing the same thing against them instead of taking something elsewhere across the map, right? In Game 3, you had the team fight comp, and they wouldn't split push against it.
It's really hard to argue. If you look at the Koreans, the reason why a lot of their TPs are so good is because they do it immediately without hesitation, and then they just play the game whatever happens next. I don't think there's time enough for him to assess that situation to see what happens.
Stop it.
Also,
he died before TP finished, of
If,
course.
if both Ori and Rumble didn't whiff their ultis, though, I think it could have been a good
At least,
turnaround.
yeah.
A decent
yeah,
turnaround.
and if Rumble had actually been 6 at the start of that fight, he would have had a crazy ulti in that tribe
was
round.
Great, but he wasn't, so
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
go.
But an Oriolti could have made him. I mean, it's arguable both ways. Like I see your point.
Well, let's step back a little bit, talk about the series holistically. Starhorn Royal Club demonstrated an inability to play from behind. I'm going to exclude their 9,000 goal deficit win because I think that was more OMG making mistakes than necessarily Royal Club, winning it. But I think if they don't have a lead, they don't do well. Game 5 is maybe a good example of that. Monty, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, and to be fair, the Pantheon pick was very snowbally. I mean, if you get a good lead onto Pantheon, you get some items, you're just going to be able to ult into their backline for free all day. So that was a major contributor as well.
And I think if we also kind of look forward to their final against Samsung White here, one, I like the fact that they could actually handle the game without getting banned out. Lee Sin Rengar denied from Insect every game, still found good champions to play. And also, I think that as long as you put Korn on a tank in the top lane, he's going to have a much better time getting out of the early game, which is something that they will have better than like Samsung Blue had in their semifinal.
Well, hold that thought. We'll talk a little bit more about the finals in a minute or two. Creppa, I know you and I were discussing just before the game ended that Starhorn Royal Club have gone 2-0 up, then lost 2 in a row, and then won the 5th game. That twice this event already. They
Wait,
seem
they
to be
lost
able
the
to
first game, though.
seem to be able to dig quite deep.
yeah, I think they did the same thing.
No,
this game.
yeah.
No, they lost the game.
Lost
They
one,
lost one.
1-2.
Lost on
one.
1-2. Right, so let
And
me
I was
rephrase.
wrong,
They've
Quick. And
gone
now
to
I
game
apologize
5.
for messing up
They
your
just
block.
stepped it up game 5.
Well,
They take it to game 5 and then they win. So I'm going to
That's
make
what
a bold
I had.
prediction. If Royal Cup makes it to game 5, then they're going to win the series.
Well, take a look at the teams. This is the final that we will be witnessing next Sunday. It is, of course, Samsung White taking on Starhorn Royal Club. Royal Club back-to-back World Finals. Uzi, back-to-back World Final member. Monty had a beautiful line where Uzi said, we didn't win last year. Recycle these 4, give me 4 more. He's done it again.
That's right.
Yeah.
I just look forward, like I said, to the reality show for Uzi, where every year they have a contest to pick his 4 new teammates that he will then carry to the World Finals.
Let's actually talk about the final. Let's pull the championship bracket up. Remind everybody how we got to the stage where we are now. Samsung Blue losing to White in the semi-final. Royal Club beating OMG in 5 games. So it does set us up for the world final of Samsung White versus Starhorn Royal Club next Sunday. It's a best of 5. Crepo, you and I are now aware Royal Club goes to 5 games. We'll disregard the order in which they get there.
I take blame.
It's been a long day. It's been a long day. Crepo, first thoughts on this matchup, on this series, after seeing Royal Club today, after seeing White yesterday?
I just want to go back to that shot. I just like that there's this epic stare down on the summer. Yeah, I'm coming for this cup.
It's a
boys.
sweet cup.
Yep.
It is.
I too want one of those cups. But,
Well, you just got to keep playing. Just find Uzi, put him on your team, and then I figure if you can outplay.
Down to join Uzi and friends next season. Like,
No, they don't need two.
Where's the
They don't
spot?
need 280 carries. But see, this is the thing.
It doesn't matter who
This
they
is
get.
the thing, Peter. You just what you have to do is now replace CLG with 4 new members of your choosing. That is the road to the.
And hard carry.
They got to finals last year. If we end up in relegations against this year, it just kind
Well,
of
right,
fulfills
so
the
you
promise.
replace everyone but
hold
Deadlift,
up, hold
you
up,
do the
hold
same
up, hold
thing
up, hold
again.
up. I love you all. I love you all. This is not your moment. This is Starhorn Royal Club against Samsung White.
Yeah.
And Freak, legitimately, what are you expecting from the final?
Okay. First of all, as you mentioned before, David and Goliath battle. Samsung White are still going to be gigantic favorites here. They are clearly an incredibly strong team, and just like SKT last year, they are big favorites coming in. Royal Club, I think, do have a chance to do the crazy snowballing. They're one of the better early game teams here. Uzi, still incredible. They can still peel for him. On the right kinds of champions, the players step up. Insect still mechanically very good. Korn on the right champions actually plays really well. He's been the #2 mid in China for a long time. Had a really bad first 12 games of the tournament, and then finally did really well here in Game 5. So a difficult road, but if they step up individually, you'll see a better series than the one against Samsung Blue, and they can play from ahead.
But I do think the difference in individual performance will have to be so big because the difference in team play and strategy is so huge already. And look at Mata, for example. If he gets rid of Thresh and Janna, Mata's champion pool is so deep that it doesn't even matter. Well, I think Zero might actually be affected there.
So Doublelift and Monty, just before we do wrap up the day, what's your take on this final and whether or not the Protect the 80 carry style can challenge White?
Oh man, just like Freak said and Crepo said, they're such underdogs. I mean, Royal Club is gonna have a hard road ahead of them, and just watching White, it is the closest to perfect I've ever seen League of Legends played, and playing perfectly, part of playing perfectly is having perfect communication because no one player can see everything, right? You can only look at whatever is on your screen. And Royal Club clearly has some communication problems when they rely on smart pings. They don't all speak the same language. Yes, they made it to finals, but communication, if that breaks down at any point, it's just going to be really hard to come back.
And very final thoughts, Monty, before we do roll forward.
Yeah, I think that that individual, just player by player, they're not going to be as far behind. Of course, Looper's been playing amazingly, as has Go Going, and we did see at some points Cola have some problems during this series, and I think those problems are going to come again. And with the kind of better lane swap and better map tactics, as well as the deeper champion pools on Samsung White, Royal, it's an uphill battle.
It is definitely an uphill battle, one that we'll be discussing this week as we prepare for that final next week. Guys, we do have one more thing we need to get covered here because there were 33 different champions played over the last 2 days here in Seoul. But instead of choosing a lineup of the most popular choices, we've decided to put together a well-executed poke comp styled champions which played exceptionally well within their roles. So I'd like once again to ask our analysts, who would your roster be based on these semi-final games, that MVP roster we've done for each of the stages? Freak, I'm going to start with you in the top and the jungle. If you can list them off and give me some points as to why.
Yeah, so first off, Rumble. Rumble's been awesome. As long as you hit the ultimates, you have ways of winning the team fights. It works with the rest of the combos. We unveil it, but he's a good, like, oh my god, a team fight, let's hit some buttons, as well as pushing people off turrets. Second champion, or second role here, jungle, Rengar. Rengar has been absolutely incredible this week. We see him when he's played well. Insect getting it banned all 5 games against him. Dandy, incredible in champion as well. You set a team up early on with someone like Rengar, and you can carry it through very easily.
Yeah, for me too, if we go into the mid lane, like, you got to take Jace here. Cool did well on it. We saw a ton of it in the last semifinal. So versatile in terms of his ability to poke, and also just a great skirmisher in that hammer stance. He does a ridiculous amount of damage on his tier power spike.
Yeah, completely agree.
For AD carry, probably Corki. He's just incredibly solid all-around champion. He never really falls off except for super late game 5-6 items, and you hardly ever see games go that way. I especially think in the finals, games will be decided in like 30 to 35 minutes, maybe even less. So Corki never really gets to fall off. He's just incredible in all situations.
So and if we're running a poke comp and we have double lift on Corki, he might get caught, so we'll need some peel and disengage. I'm going to go with Janna. I think Janna was a top tier pick alongside Thresh in this tournament, and this pretty much rounds up the comp.
It really, really does. It's a comp we've seen actually pretty similarly over the last 2 days. You can actually pick up that MVP semi-final bundle in the store right now. It does include skins that have been used by the World Championship players, and quite a few of those have actually been the reason that these teams are in the World Championship final. Of course, we will remain here in Seoul, South Korea, as the Warriors from Samsung White and Starhorn Royal Club meet in the Sangam World Cup Stadium next Sunday for the 2014 World Championship final.